What is up, everybody? Welcome back to RaceDudes.com and welcome back to Rockets Hits and Heartbreaks. We're back for another week here. We're going to talk about one heartbreak and we're going to talk about one hit and kind of go through what happened with the Rockets this week. Now, I am recording on Sunday, so there are Rockets out there being played right now, and we're 2 for 2 right now at Gulfstream in the early part of this card, so maybe we'll get a couple of these home and maybe we can talk about them next week on the show, but I'm going to record it today. All right, let's get to it. Let's go to Oaklawn Park on Thursday. That's where we'll start. And you'll see here, $96 ticket, kind of our sweet spot there. And we were singled up in the second leg of this thing. And this was more of a forced single than a choice to single in a way, it was a choice, I should say, but it wasn't a single that you're like, well, that's an obvious one. It was kind of like, well, I need a lot of coverage, so I've got a single somewhere. And I think that was the best kind of place to do it because I felt like I needed coverage in all these other races. All right, let's get to it. 2, 5, 6, 8 to kick it off. The 8 gets the job done. The 2 runs second. So good start. 940 winner as well. So felt really good about it to start. The singles next. So it's make or break. And Mo Moves gets the job done. Really very unstressful. Paid $480 to win, which was not surprising. Figured this horse would be a big favorite. And, the thing with this horse, definitely looked like the best on paper, but it's a maiden claimer. You were a little bit, at least I was a little bit worried about that, with the class and the sloppy track. It's like, oh boy, I don't know. I shouldn't really say I hate it, but I always kind of get a little bit leery, singling these kind of cheaper horses, but got the job done, ran kind of to the looks of the form, and so we're 2 for 2. And now you're feeling good because you're 4x4x3 to end this thing. Got the 4 home in the next leg, went 4, 5, 7, and 10, and got that home easily. $7 payout. So all of a sudden, though, like you are a little bit like, well, this isn't going to pay a ton now that we've kind of got 3 shorter prices in. So we go to leg 4. We went 1, 5, 9, and 10. The 9 gets it done, and you kind of, as you see throughout this, like it's not like our horses were running 1, 2, 3. Like we were winning, and then it was like, yeah, we weren't really close with these other ones. We didn't use the 5, we didn't use the 11. So, and another thing that kind of started to worry me, a lot of top pick winners here, and so it's like, boy, we've wasted some bullets we could have used for that last leg. So you're always a little bit anxious going into the last leg here. You're 4 for 4, and then there you see it. We went 4, 7, 12. The 12 does get second, but the Carl Broberg trained Dicey Wager gets it done. And wouldn't you know it, that's the horse we left off. So we were 4 deep and trimmed that race down to 3 deep. The 4th horse was the 10. So there you have it. Just little decisions there. And that decision cost you big. It's minus 96 instead of a $1,194.15 payout. So that's just one of those things. It's a tough one to swallow. If I get beat by some random, horse that I never would have used, it really never bothers me. But when I do get beat in a race where it's like, well, I had that horse, had him in the top 4, had him on a ticket originally, just, ended up messing around with it a little bit and changing it and thinking, yeah, we can go short there. I liked the 12 quite a bit in that race and ran okay. But really, the killers of you use the 4 and the 7 and they're nowhere to be found. And so that was kind of the tough part of it. Tough loss. Felt like we had that one. Felt like we should have cashed that one, and we did not. All right, let's go to a different one here. Let's go to a winner, and we'll go to Tampa Bay Downs for this one. Race 2 is where this pick 5 started. So this is Tampa Bay Downs on Saturday. This is Tampa Bay Derby Day. And thankfully, this was a day, or this was a day that was a mess, I should say. But thankfully for us, this was the early pick 5. We didn't have to worry about the late pick 5 and everything that happened there with the tote board. The tote system, I should say. So let's get to this. $96 ticket for this one as well. No singles. And thank God I did not end up singling because the horse I had originally singled was the one in race 2. It was off the board, got 4th. So let's go through it though. And I'll kind of explain why I didn't think I had to single. But to start, I went too deep. So here's the deal. I had the one singled. I liked that horse quite a bit. But the three, I just kept circling back to the three Hercules. Like, yeah, you know what? He's pretty good horse. He at this level, he's pretty good. At Tampa, he's pretty good. And I didn't feel comfortable leaving the three off, which ultimately led to me going, okay, I'll play 1-3 here. And it worked out great. Paid $11.40 to win, easy victory. It was rallied right up the rail and was gone. So this was a great start because even though you only, it's quote unquote only $11.40 on the win, you feel like you really dodged a bullet because, when I was originally like scrap paper, writing down who I wanted to play, it was a single here. And so changed it to 1-3, and that worked out pretty well. So now you got coverage in the next leg, 3, 5, 6, and 10, and 3, 5 come in here, but we get the 3 home, and that was good. Another $10 or a double-digit payout, $10 here. So I was feeling pretty good about this one. And then again, another double-digit payer of $12.40 here as we went 3, 6, 12 in the fourth race, which is the third leg, oddly enough. But that's how they do it at Tampa. So, and again, we had the 3 and the 12, but kind of the longer price of the 3 wins. So you really feel great about it. You go on to leg number 4. You did get a favorite here. We went 1, 4, 9, and 12. And the 9, would have been better for the payout, but the 1 gets the job done. So it's a no stress pick 5 up to this point where there were no close calls, other than me almost singling in the first leg. But other than that, like I'm talking about, once you place the ticket, watch the races, no close calls. That continued. So we go on to the 5th race here, or the 5th leg and the 6th race, I should say. We went Skippy Longstocking and Dynamic 1. And for me, Skippy Longstocking was the reason that I didn't have to single that first leg, because I thought, no, Skippy, I'm pretty confident is just better than these horses. If he shows up, I think he's going to be tough. And then I used the 2 Dynamic 1 because I thought his best race can win here. And so I just thought, well, I'll use him as well. I can afford it on the ticket, $96 ticket here. You scroll down here, $635.25 was the payout. So not too bad for no stress whatsoever to get a little over $500 profit there. And again, you never really felt like you were going to lose that for all of the races, really. Disappointed with the payout. Thought it would be a little bit more, but I think a ton of people singled Skippy Longstocking. And I say that because, for example, I don't know exactly what the payout was, but it seems like Dynamic 1 was paying out almost $1,500 if he gets the job done. So it does kind of show you that, a lot of people played this through Skippy Longstocking, and I don't blame them. Looked like a standout on paper and got the job done. So $635.25, said pretty good return. Obviously wished it was a little bit better, but you kind of always wish that, right? So hit some other little ones on Saturday. One at Santa Anita, paid like $250. No big deal there, really. So we had some other little payouts throughout the weekend. This was kind of the 2 I wanted to highlight for the content this week. All right, guys, that will do it for Rockets Hits and Heartbreaks this week. If we hit anything Sunday, we'll talk about it next week, and we'll also talk about, obviously, next week, what happens next week as we got more racing to cover. So, all right, guys, thanks everybody for watching Rockets Hits and Heartbreaks, and we'll see you right back here next week.